colleague on the finance team, the gentleman from the 64th, used some strong language when he said deadly deficit. Deadly deficit. And we all are concerned about deficits. But during the last finance hearing, he also did a really good job of helping navigate a path which illustrated that the governor's own budget proposal was going to create a deadly deficit. So which is it, right? The facts are this. During the finance hearing, the Legislative Fiscal Bureau Director, Bob Lang, was asked a question by the co-chair as to the source or the origin, the primary influence for where these monies are coming from. Naturally, it has to do with tax collection, of course. But if you take it one step further, we realize that a lot of this money is still rooted back or traced back to the federal government and the money we have borrowed. This is borrowed money, right? So if you are a tax filer in the state of Wisconsin, you're on the hook to pay some of this stuff back. Why then, if we're talking about deficits, why would we fill that space with yet another government program? Because let's be honest, the budget went up about 11%-ish this year, or this past budget cycle again. That's not chump change, folks. $99 billion state budget. We're not chincing here in the state. We are investing in strategic initiatives. So rather than fill that space with another government program, why not, crazy thought, send it back to those who are on the hook to pay it back? They can help pay their higher energy costs. They can help pay for the inflationary goods that they're buying today. It will make a difference in their lives right now. State comparisons. We heard about Illinois. Well, I live near Minnesota, so I'm going to talk about Minnesota for a second. So Minnesota had a $17 billion surplus. That is serious money, right? Now, they, doing what they thought was right, they spent it all. They created program after program, entitlement after entitlement. It's gone. So fast forward to deadly deficits now. These programs are in place. Can you just imagine the ground-shaking thud when their next budget comes up and they've got to figure out a way to fill that space? As a finance member, and I don't want to speak for my colleagues, I'll speak only for myself, we take a lot of meetings during the budget process. Agencies, interests, passionate constituents who care about, their topic. And they come in our office and they make their pitch. Of all the agencies, every single one of them, I can say without hesitation, not one human being sat in my office across the table, looked at me and said, "We're good. We don't need more." In fact, the $500 million that we had last budgetary cycle, we found ways to optimize. We can actually trim $50 million out of that. That's absurd. Anybody who's ever worked in the private sector knows that there, especially in a $99 billion budget, there's change in the couch cushions. There's room for optimization, ways we can use this more effectively. It's not a race to spend more. It should be spending effectively, expecting a return on the taxpayer money in the state of Wisconsin. That's the way we should look at it. And both sides of the aisle should look at it that way. Because at the end of the day, it's the people back home in our respective districts who are on the hook to pay the feds off. The feds are out of control. We all know that. $34 trillion debt. I can't get my head around that anymore. And I've said it here from this microphone before, and I'll say it again. Every creditor calls at some point, and we are going to hit a massive wall down the road that will be damaging to us. So in moments like this, and I want to thank the author here, when we have a chance to send money back to those who have earned it, those who are in desperate need of it, we should do it. It's obvious. So this should be a bipartisan, unanimous vote where we send money back to the people in our districts and stop trying to grow government yet again.